The seeds of your future are sown in the quality and quantity of service you render today. In your quest for a better life, for more wealth, more love, more opportunity, more peace, your natural instinct is to add. You strive to add more skills, add more money, add more contacts to your network. But what if I told you that this is not the first step? What if the most powerful secret to attracting the new is not to add, but to first subtract? What if the key to receiving everything you desire is to first have the courage to create an empty space? This is the great counterintuitive secret known to the ancient masters as the law of the vacuum. The principle is simple, yet its implications are profound. Nature, and by extension, the universe, abhors a vacuum. It is a fundamental law of physics. Wherever an empty space is created, the universe will rush in to fill it. This law does not just apply to the physical world, it applies with equal force to your mental, emotional, and spiritual life. You cannot fill a cup that is already full. If your life is cluttered with old habits, old beliefs, old relationships, and old possessions that no longer serve your highest good, there is simply no room for the new, better things to enter. Most people live lives of unconscious hoarding. They hoard resentments from the past. They hoard limiting beliefs about what is possible for them. They hoard clothes they haven't worn in years and friendships that drain their energy. Their cup is so full of mediocrity and clutter that there is no space for the universe to deliver the abundance it is waiting to give them. They pray for new opportunities while clinging tightly with both hands to the very things that are preventing those opportunities from arriving. This is the X factor of creation that is so often missed. It is an act of faith. It is the courage to let go of the good to make room for the great. It is the understanding that you must release what you have in order to receive what you desire. This journey we are about to embark upon is a process of decluttering your life, mentally, physically, and spiritually, to create a powerful vacuum that will magnetically pull your desires into your reality. This journey of letting go is an act of profound faith in the abundance of the universe. If you are ready to create the space for miracles in your life, make your declaration. Subscribe to this channel now as a commitment to releasing what no longer serves you and making room for what is truly meant for you. But where do we begin this great clearing out? The process starts not in your house or your schedule, but in the most crowded and important space of all, your own mind. We must first learn to release the mental clutter that is blocking your good. The universe is a perfect accountant. It tolerates no unpaid debts. To truly grasp the power of going the extra mile, you must first understand the philosophy upon which it rests. The universe operates on a flawless system of checks and balances. It is a perfect accountant that tolerates no unpaid debts, positive or negative. Every thought you think, every action you take, every bit of energy you put out into the world creates a cosmic debt that, by law, must be repaid to you. When you render service grudgingly, when you do the bare minimum, when your attitude is one of resentment, you are sending out negative energy. You are creating a debt of mediocrity, and the universe, in its perfect justice, will repay you with a reality of mediocrity. You will remain stuck, overlooked, and undercompensated, not because the world is unfair, but because you are receiving the exact, perfect reflection of the value you are putting out. However, when you consciously choose to go the extra mile, you reverse this equation entirely. When you deliver service that is not just excellent, but more than what was expected, when you do it with a genuine spirit of helpfulness and a positive mental attitude, you are creating a massive credit in your favor on the cosmic ledger. You are, in essence, making the universe your debtor. And the universe always pays its debts, usually with compound interest. This is the key. The return on your extra service rarely comes from the person to whom you rendered it.
Your boss may not give you an immediate raise. Your client may not pay you a bonus. This is where most people falter. They look for an immediate, direct reward, and when they do not see it, they conclude the principle has failed. But the master of this law knows that the universe pays its debts in its own time and in its own, often far grander, way. The return comes as an unexpected opportunity, a new contact, a brilliant idea, a promotion from another department, or a reputation that becomes so valuable it commands its own price. This law requires faith. It is the faith to sow seeds of exceptional value today without demanding to see the harvest tomorrow. It is the understanding that you are not working for a person, you are working in harmony with a universal principle, and that principle has never once failed to deliver on its promise.
Quality is the signature of your character. Understanding the great law of compensation is one thing. Knowing that the universe will repay you for the value you deliver is a source of immense power. But how does one begin to apply this law in a practical daily sense? It begins not with doing more work, but with doing your current work better. The absolute foundation of this law, the first component you must master, is the quality of service. Many people who desire more from life make the critical mistake of believing that their current position is unimportant, a mere temporary stop on their way to something greater. And so, they render mediocre service. They do just enough to get by, saving their real effort for a real opportunity. This is a fatal error in reasoning. It is like a farmer who refuses to tend his small plot of land, claiming he is saving his energy for the day he owns a great estate. He fails to understand that it is by mastering the small plot that he proves he is worthy of the larger one. The quality of your service is a direct reflection of your character. It is the signature you leave on everything you touch. It is a testament to your own self-respect. The person who is willing to deliver sloppy, half-hearted work is telling the universe and their own subconscious mind that they are a person of mediocre character, and the law of compensation will justly reward them with a mediocre reality. To master this first component, you must adopt the mindset of a master craftsman. The master craftsman is obsessed with excellence, not for the applause of others, but for the sake of their own integrity. They see every task, no matter how small, as an opportunity to express their highest standard. You must do the same. Whether you are writing an email, cleaning a floor, or designing a bridge, you must see it as a reflection of who you are. You must infuse it with a spirit of excellence. This quality is inseparable from your positive mental attitude, PMA. You cannot render high-quality service with a resentful or bored spirit. You must find the good in what you do. You must cultivate enthusiasm. When you perform your duties with a positive, harmonious energy, the quality of your work is naturally elevated. People can feel the difference. They are drawn to the person who takes pride in their work. Before you can go the extra mile in quantity, you must first go the extra inch in quality. Make excellence your unshakable habit. Let every action you take bear the signature of a person of high character and unwavering commitment. This alone will begin to separate you from the masses and place you firmly on the path of increasing returns. Do not wait to be asked. Opportunity favors the one who takes initiative. Once you have made excellence your standard and a positive mental attitude your default state, you are ready to apply the second, more dynamic component of this law, the quantity of service. This is the act of deliberately rendering more service than you are paid for, of willingly going the extra mile. This is where you truly begin to create that powerful cosmic debt in your favor. The law of compensation is simple. You cannot get more than you give. To increase your own returns, you must first increase your output of useful, valuable service. This does not mean working aimlessly longer hours. It means using your creative imagination to find ways to contribute beyond the strict definition of your duties. What does this look like in practice? It is the salesperson who, after making a sale, follows up with the customer a week later just to ensure they are happy.
It is the employee who sees a problem in another department and, on their own time, drafts a thoughtful solution to present to their superiors. It is the writer who delivers an article and includes a list of suggested social media posts to help promote it without being asked. It is the act of constantly asking, "Where else can I be of service?" This habit does more than just create goodwill. It demonstrates that you are bigger than your current job description. It signals to those in positions of power that you have leadership potential, that you have initiative, and that your mind is focused on the success of the enterprise as a whole, not just on your own paycheck. It makes you indispensable. Do not make the mistake of waiting to be asked. Opportunity does not knock on the doors of those who are waiting to be told what to do. It seeks out the men and women who have already demonstrated through their initiative that they are ready for greater responsibility. By consistently delivering a greater quantity of high-quality service, you are not just doing a job, you are making an investment in your own future, an investment the universe will be forced to repay with interest. This decision to give more than you're asked for is a core tenet of the X of mentality. If you are ready to adopt this philosophy of value creation, commit to it now. Subscribe as a declaration that you will no longer do the minimum, but will always strive to go the extra mile.
The spirit in which you give determines the value of the gift. We now arrive at the third component of this law, the invisible but all-powerful X factor that determines whether your extra service will yield magnificent returns or be a fruitless effort. This is the spirit of service. You can deliver the highest quality of work and the greatest quantity of work. But if you do so with a resentful spirit, with a grudging attitude, or with the constant needy expectation of an immediate reward, you neutralize the entire principle. The spirit in which a thing is done is often more important than the thing itself. The universe does not just respond to your actions, it responds to the energy behind your actions, to the intention in your heart. You must go the extra mile willingly, cheerfully, and with a genuine desire to be of useful service. Your attitude must be one of harmony and abundance, not one of reluctant sacrifice. If you are thinking, "I will do this extra work, but my boss had better notice and give me a raise next month," you have already failed. You have attached a string to your gift, and this string chokes off the flow of the universal law of compensation. You must render the service and then release it, with absolute faith that the return will come in its own time and in its own way from the great cosmic accountant. This requires a profound shift in mindset. You must begin to see yourself not as an employee trading hours for money, but as a sovereign individual who is investing your time and talent into the marketplace. Your extra mile service is your investment in your own reputation, your own skills, and your own character. It is an investment that can never be lost, for it becomes a part of who you are. Therefore, cultivate a spirit of genuine helpfulness. Perform every task, whether you are paid for it or not, as if you were doing it for yourself, for your own great enterprise. When you render service in this harmonious spirit, you become a magnet for cooperation. Others will want to work with you. They will be drawn to your positive, creative energy, and the returns that flow back to you will be far greater than any salary or bonus, for they will include loyalty, respect, opportunity, and the deep personal satisfaction of a job masterfully done. The law of compensation never fails. It only sometimes delays.
You have now identified the clutter in your life, the mental, physical, and relational patterns that are filling your space and blocking your good. But identification alone is not enough. The sixth law on this path is about the conscious and often difficult practice of the active release. You must learn how to let go. Letting go is an act of profound faith. It is the belief that by releasing your tight grip on something that is merely okay, you are demonstrating to the universe that you are ready and worthy of something that is excellent. Think of a hot air balloon. To rise to greater heights, it must release the sandbags that are weighing it down. Those sandbags, your old beliefs, your draining relationships, your physical clutter, may give you a false sense of being grounded, of security. But it is a security that keeps you tethered to the earth when you are meant to soar. The process of releasing begins with a definite decision. Choose one area you identified, just one. Perhaps it is a single limiting belief, like "I am not good enough." Your task is to actively challenge and release it. Every time it enters your mind, you will consciously say, "This is an old thought. It no longer has power over me." I release it and create space for confidence. Perhaps it is physical. Your task is to take one box, just one, of things you no longer need and remove it from your home today. This physical act has a powerful psychological and spiritual effect. You are sending a clear, tangible signal to your subconscious mind and to the universe that you are serious about creating a vacuum. The act of letting go is not passive. It is a powerful creative force. It is you, acting as the sculptor, chipping away the excess stone to reveal the masterpiece within. It can be uncomfortable.
The mind that expects to be exploited will always find evidence of exploitation. The moment you begin to let go, you will be confronted by a primal human fear, the fear of the void, the fear of empty space. This is why people stay in bad relationships, in unfulfilling jobs, and hold on to useless possessions. The familiar misery feels safer than the uncertainty of an empty space. The seventh law you must master is faith in the void. You must retrain your mind to see this emptiness not as a loss, but as a state of pure and infinite potential. The void is not a dead end. It is the womb of creation. It is the fertile, silent ground from which all new things must grow. When you create a vacuum in your life, you are not left with nothing. You are left with everything in its potential state. You are creating breathing room for your future. This requires immense faith. It is the faith to trust that when you release a draining friendship, the universe will fill that space with a new, harmonious alliance. It is the faith to know that when you clear your schedule of meaningless busy work, a real, purpose-driven opportunity will present itself. Infinite intelligence cannot give you a new, brilliant idea if your mind is already filled to the brim with the noise of old worries and useless information. You must learn to become comfortable in this space of not knowing. It is a state of profound trust. You have done your part. You have cleared the space. Now you must have the faith to allow the universe to do its part. The farmer, after planting his seeds, does not dig them up every day to see if they are growing. He trusts the process. You must do the same. Trust the void. It is not empty. It is pregnant with the possibilities of the new reality you are calling forth. This journey of trusting the unknown is a core principle of the X of mentality. If you are ready to create space for your own miracles, go to the comments and declare, "I trust the void." Your habits determine your future, long before your future arrives. Let us move from the philosophical to the practical. How does this law manifest in the real world? Let me tell you a story. There was a writer who dreamed of writing a great novel, but his office was a chaotic mess, filled with relics from old projects, stacks of unopened mail, and half-finished tasks. His mind was similarly cluttered, filled with the resentment of past failures and the anxiety of his current financial state. For years, he talked about his novel, but never wrote a word. His cup was full. Finally, hearing of this law of the vacuum, he decided to test it. He spent an entire weekend ruthlessly cleaning his office. He threw away old papers, donated books he would never read, organized his files. He created a clean, clear, inspiring space. He did not yet have the idea for his novel, but he had created a physical vacuum for it to enter. The following Monday, he sat at his clean desk, feeling a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. And in that quiet, uncluttered space, an idea for a character flashed into his mind with a clarity that was almost startling. He then applied the principle to his mental world. He took 1 hour to write down every resentment, every fear, every limiting belief he held about himself as a writer. He then took that piece of paper and, in a safe and symbolic act, he burned it. He was releasing the old mental clutter. The very next day, an old acquaintance called him out of the blue, not knowing anything about his novel. This acquaintance had a connection to a literary agent, and hearing that the writer was working on something new, offered to make an introduction. This is how the universe responds. When you create a vacuum, you send out a powerful, silent signal that you are ready for something new. And the universe, which abhors a vacuum, will rush to fill that space with the people, the ideas, and the opportunities that are in perfect harmony with the space you have created. First, you build the habit. Then, the habit builds you.
The story of the writer illustrates the power of a great clearing out. But the 9th law is about turning this from a one-time event into a lifelong philosophy. This is the law of maintenance. A sanctuary is not built and then abandoned. It must be tended to daily. A garden, once cleared of weeds, will be overtaken again if it is not cared for. So it is with your life. Clutter, both mental and physical, is the natural entropy of life. It will always try to creep back in. New fears will arise. New limiting beliefs will try to take root. New draining people will try to enter your life. New useless possessions will try to fill your space. Your work as the architect of your reality is to become a vigilant, daily gardener. This means making clearing space a regular habit. It means regularly reviewing your possessions and letting go of what you no longer need. It means regularly reviewing your relationships and lovingly creating distance from those that are no longer in harmony with your purpose. It means, most importantly, practicing daily mental hygiene, observing your thoughts, releasing the negative ones, and consciously choosing to focus on your purpose. This is not a burden. It is an act of profound self-respect. It is the understanding that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the space you maintain within and around you. You must be as disciplined about what you allow to remain in your life as you are about what you seek to attract into it. By consistently practicing the art of letting go, you ensure that you are always in a state of readiness, always with open hands, prepared to receive the next great gift the universe has in store for you. This is how you make space for continuous growth and abundance.
Your greatest compensation is the person you become. And so we arrive at the final, most profound understanding of this great law. The purpose of creating a vacuum in your life is not just to attract more things, more money, more success, better relationships. These are merely the wonderful byproducts. The 10th and ultimate law is that the final purpose of creating a void is to make space for your highest self to emerge. Your true self, your soul, your inner genius is often buried under decades of clutter. The fears you have accumulated, the limiting beliefs you have accepted from others, the regrets you hold on to, the persona you have built to please the world. These things are not you.
They are the clutter filling your sacred space. The process of letting go, of creating a vacuum, is the process of unbecoming everything that isn't you, so that you can finally become who you are always meant to be. As you clear away the mental, emotional, and physical clutter, you create a space. And it is into this clean, clear, harmonious space that your own divine essence will rush in to fill the void. Your intuition becomes clearer. Your purpose becomes more defined. Your creativity flows effortlessly. You begin to operate from a place of deep inner peace and unshakable self-reliance. This is the ultimate attraction. You are not just attracting things, you're attracting yourself. You are calling forth the master who has been dormant within you. This is the great work. It is the path to true freedom and fulfillment. Therefore, I invite you one last time. Make a commitment to this sacred work of clearing space. Subscribe to this channel, and in doing so, declare that you are ready to let go of the old to make way for the true you. Your highest potential is waiting for you to create the space for it to arrive. The journey begins with one simple act of letting go.
Activate the X within you.